I promise you.
All right, seeing as how it's 10 o'clock, we'll call this meeting to order. Notice that the meeting was properly posted February 19th, 2025. Mr. Warren, would you like to lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Appreciate that. All right, first item is discussion possible action regarding the minutes. Is there a motion?
Move approval.
Not everybody at once. There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Seeing no objection, motion passes. Is there a motion on the consent? Actually, before we get too crazy, there's a change to item 3. The attachment was not filled out all the way. Paul, if you'll hand out, if we'll just pass that down, if there's a motion to accept the new attachment. There's a motion.
Second.
And a second. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. We'll wait for that to get passed all the way in case anybody's got questions.
We're still passing the resolution.
Well, why don't you give me all of them? You take the one. And we'll take the rest.
Oh, it works that way.
That way, yeah.
If everyone could vote for me, please. I'm sorry to interrupt. If everyone could vote for me, please, I'd appreciate it.
Was that the only one?
Oh, number 3.
Yeah, this was just to accept, to receive the amended attachment.
Mr. Stein. Thank you, sir.
Okay, that motion passed 7-0. Now, if there's any questions, if not, we'll make a motion on the consent as a whole.
Motion.
There's a motion and a second.
I believe we need to pull 17.
Yeah, correct. 17.
That's correct. Mr. Warren, if you would
Motion.
withdraw your motion, or
Withdraw.
would you like to? And we need to strike item 17 because it's a duplicate. Is there a motion to strike item 17?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you for clarification. Now we can take the consent as a whole.
Move approval of the consent.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Everybody punch your buttons. That's 7-0. Motion passes. Item 28 is our monthly financial report. Madam Clerk.
Albert will join us today.
Good morning. All right, if you'll turn to, everyone have a handout of the PowerPoint?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So if you look at, Cassie, do you have a clicker?
My eyes going bad or is this blurry?
It's just loud.
Both.
Okay. So on the general fund budget here, this is the budget after September supplement. So we can see there at the reserve balance is $8,671,114 on that. And then if we go to the next one, which is our reserve, here you see what was put in for September supplement, what the original general fund reserve balance was, and what expenses have come out of that reserve, which gives us a total of the $8,671,114.09. And then on the next one, which is the general fund budget analysis. Our ending cash balance at the end of January was $61,577,021. And then on the general fund comparison, which is page 5, here you can see the same comparison between this year and last fiscal year, which last fiscal year we had $37,606,989 compared to what we have this year, $61,577,020.97. And then on the employee benefits, which is page 6, We had an ending balance of 4,667,740, and then on the year to date medical and RX claims, John will give you an updated information on that one, and our employee benefits comparison, which is page 8. As you can see, this year we had 4,667,741. And this time last year, we had a balance of 330,730. And the difference for that is that $5 million supplement transfer we did last month is what makes the balance there. And then the last one is our capital project budget. What we have in unallocated funds in the capital projects is 431 and 207. This is page 9, sorry. And just with that quick overview of the month financial, do you all have any questions?
So, any questions?
Some of my staff have noticed that the benefits or our donations to the retirement plan haven't been deposited yet. Do you have any information on that?
You're talking about the wire?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we've been working on that with BOK for the past couple weeks. There was an issue with, and I think if John's in the room, he may be able to help us explain a little bit of the changes with benefits. And then there was also a change that needed to be made within the system. So I know our office has been working with, I believe, the treasurer's office some, and then with BOK this week, and trying to figure out also the Munis side of it too. I think last week there was an issue with Munis and that piece of it. So we're continuing to work on it and getting it straightened out.
Thank you.
Thank you, Albert.
All right.
Move to receive his report.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Motion clearly passes. Item number 29. Mr. Cody Compton.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
We got 2 additions to the watch list this month. One of them is quasi-related to an item that was on there before. Election board, we've had an item on there for $300,000 that was anticipated for special elections for the District 1 election. The first election that occurred in February, the election board was able to come up with the funds to cover that. The April general election, they are going to need some funding for that. They need $117,300. The $300,000 was to address that, but they requested that we go ahead and leave the $300,000 on there separately in case the commissioners ask to go out for a sales tax ask. That would be an additional election that would need to be funded. So we're leaving that on there and just put a separate item on for the $117,300. That is on your agenda today is item number 37, which is a recommendation from BET to fund. We also added an item for IT. It's for their benefits budget. It's $66,127. That addition is also on your agenda today as a recommendation from BET. That is item number 36. So when we get to those items, if there's specific questions, I or those associated with those particular departments can answer those questions. So those are the 2 changes that we have to the watch list this month.
Any questions?
Did you guys, I know we talked to MBET, you all discussed the adult changing table and the changing table for the nursing room. And I know that P&G already talked about that. So I just wanted to say thank you. I think it's a great thing to do and happy to support. And my understanding is it didn't need to go on the watch list because I think Keith said there was some funding for that.
Yeah, at this time, to be able to start the project, on the first floor, they had it was indicated that there was plenty of money in the commissioners. They've got in their capital account a emergency money in there that we put in every year. That money can be tapped into to start that project, Once we know how much further that project might grow, as far as over in the courthouse, other floors here, when those costs have been identified, then we had requested to go ahead and come back and request it to be put on the watch list if there's going to need to be additional funding for that part of the project. Those parts of the project, though, would be anticipated to be into next fiscal year, so we would anticipate putting those on the watch list next year, because it was doubtful that we'd be able to get the first one done on the first floor and then move on to a second phase of projects related to this in this current fiscal year with everything else that's going on.
Got it. Thank you for
You
the
bet.
update. It's
You bet.
Any more questions? Seeing none, is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
And a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 30, Mr. Wilkerson, health insurance plan.
Good morning. This report details our medical claims paid through February 12th of this fiscal year versus last fiscal year. Overall, the plan is doing really well. Medical's down, or medical claims are down 8%, or 868,000 compared to same period last year. When you look at prescription claims, we're down 4% comparing to the same period as last year. You combine those, we're down $1.1 million, so staying under budget this year, which is always a good thing. Hard to do with medical and prescription expenses. We received a few less reimbursements this year, but overall, if you net everything out, we're about 665,000 under, or 4% under where we were last year.
Very good. Any questions? Seeing none, is there a motion?
Motion.
There's a motion.
Thank you.
Is there a second?
Second.
I'm sorry, can you clarify what the motion is, please?
To receive the report.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Motion clearly passes. Item 31, Mr. Assessor,
Yes, sir. Hold on a minute, let me get there.
this is your item.
Yep, let me get there.
See, Jack.
Move approval. Sadly, we don't have anything from them yet, so we're waiting for someone to be providing that information, and here we go again.
I know that Mr. Timmons, Mr. Paul Timmons, was named the acting director. Mr. Timmons has a long history with OHP, with DOC, with jails, and he's going to be very good as we continue to go out for a national search to do to find somebody to run our facility there.
I don't think it's unusual for us to have to ask for them to come over once a month to provide some information to us, since we provide their funding. And I'm continue to be disappointed, and I hope they're watching, because I'd like to have someone here who could answer our questions if we have any, or to provide an update about what's going on to improve and provide the services we need at our jail.
Isn't that Alicia Timmons' husband?
Yes.
Okay, that
Former,
used to be.
former.
Yes, what?
Former, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, never mind.
Chairman, I did bring copies of the financials, both that we have and the ones that they provided to CJAC, just so that the budget board members would have it. We're happy to answer any questions. Ours are just the numbers.
Any questions? Is there a motion? Is there one needed?
None needed.
Okay. Item number 32. Discussion and possible action regarding resolution 0417, transfer of general fund appropriations from District 2 920, not to exceed 3,000.
Move the item.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Pretty standard. Item number 33 is similar. IT from M&O to salary, 19,750. Any questions? Dane is in the back.
Motion to approve.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item number 34 is to move within my own funds from M&O to benefits to the tune of $3,000. And since I'm the only one in my office that's paid out of general fund, this needs to be done so I can get paid. And before anything bad happens, I will get even. So.
Motion to table? Motion to approve?
God, I hope you pull that. Okay. There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Hi.
Item 35 is transfer similar from capital to not to exceed 5,000 from capital to benefits. I'll
Motion
make
to approve.
There's a motion. Is there a second? There's a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
It's that time of year. Item 36 is an interfund transfer from reserve to MIS 1,270 of 66,127. This is for the benefits that Cody discussed earlier. Are there any questions? The only question I got,
Second.
Cody, is what is it for? Is this was something that is this from the added employees, or is this?
No, this is from an occurrence that happened back in the fall of 23. IT had noticed at some point after the September supplement, this amount of money, the 66,127, was removed from their benefits account. Talking to Dane, Charlotte started doing some research. I talked to some folks in the clerk's office that are not currently there any longer, trying to figure out why that money was pulled, and there was never really a determination as to why that happened, but it did. To round out that fiscal year, which would have been last fiscal year, IT had lost one of their co-directors, so they had plenty of funds available to get through the rest of that fiscal year without having an impact on their operations. They had requested this increase in their budget for this year, but whenever we made the determination to stay flat in July, it was, of course, not included. After looking at the budget as they move through this fiscal year, they've determined that they are going to need that money back into there to be able to cover their benefits for the remainder of this fiscal year. So they're requesting those dollars be placed back in there. BET is recommending utilizing general fund reserve to put those dollars in there, and it would be from the ongoing piece of our reserve account, not the one time, because this is something that would need to be funded into future fiscal years.
So did they add the employee back that they lost? The reason they didn't need the money last year, it didn't seem to be a problem because they lost an employee, correct?
Yes, they have added.
So has that employee been added back to their staff?
They have backfilled, and that particular employee actually has come back, not in the same role, but in a different role, and they have hired back up.
So
yeah,
payroll has increased.
Yes.
Any further questions? Seeing none, is there a motion?
Motion.
There's a motion and a second. Sorry. All those in favor?
Aye.
Sorry, Commissioner, I didn't see that. Item 37 is also a recommendation from BET for $117,300 to the election board for the April 1st election. Any questions?
Move approval.
There's a
Second.
motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Mr. Compton, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Item 38, Madam Clerk.
Yes, as you know, Chantel has been promoted, and Ashley McMichael is moving from senior purchasing officer to the Oklahoma County purchasing agent, which, as you guys know, we have to have in statute, by statute, have an actual purchasing agent. So Ashley will be that agent for the county, and she and her team will continue to business as usual and working with everybody. If you have any questions about any finance issues, you can always go to any one of us, but Chantel will oversee the entire team. But Ashley will be your purchasing agent. That is just an announcement. There is no action needed. Just want to make sure that we're communicating. Unless you have questions, happy to answer.
Any questions?
How many purchasing agents have we had in the past couple of years? Is just two?
Since I'll be here 2 years this April, so this is my second
Okay.
one that I know. Have to ask somebody else
Oh, yeah.
officially.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Anything further? Seeing none, just an announcement, no action. 39 is ACFR
Yes.
update.
The ACFR is moving along. We have completed all of our kind of back and forth correspondence with the auditors for the most part on the financials. And we look like we're in a very good place there. After that process, it goes to the management, which that team is now reviewing the work that the financial auditing team did. So there's a few other questions there that we are working to answer. And then next, most people sitting around this horseshoe will probably get a call from the auditor's office to ask to do a meeting. This is a normal process. All of us have been through this. They visit with you, discuss anything that may be related to your specific office. I ask that everybody prioritize those meetings because as soon as you get those meetings done, then the auditor can close out and we can get this report done. So I know that everybody's really, really busy, but if you get a call from anyone in the state auditor's office, please make a priority to get that meeting set so that we can continue through the process. But the auditor's office and our office feel confident that we are still going to be able to reach our deadline. So just please make sure that you're able to get those meetings done.
Which year does this reflect?
It's the FY22-23 ACFR that we discussed the last meeting.
Have you received, do you need an engagement letter for this, for the 24-25?
Yes, sir.
Have you received that yet, or?
No.
Okay.
Any further questions? Seeing none, is there a motion? Is there one needed?
No.
Move and receive it.
Okay, Rich would like to move to receipt it. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second on item 39. The motion was by Butch Freeman and the second was by Larry Stein. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Cassie. Item 40, receive and discuss the CARES Act audit. Madam Clerk.
This item was discussed in BET recently, so all of the offices, you all have access to the full report. I appreciate Chantel for going and Jason for going over that last time, but as you guys know, we're at a medium risk, and it is something that we probably do need to put on the watch list at some point, but we're still working with the federal side, so U.S. Treasury, to answer all of their questions. And we're happy to circle back with anybody that wants to, or if you want to reach out directly to our federal auditors, you're welcome to do that as well. Oh, it is. Sorry. Great. Super. So just want to make sure that everybody's aware of that item. No
Any
action
questions?
needed.
Seeing none, no action needed. Item 41 is to receive a budget estimate of needs for FY26.
And this, again, too, is just an announcement, and I'll pass out, which I think every office should have the calendar for the estimated needs. I know Chantel and Jason went over this in BET too. So again, this is just the last one to make sure that everybody has the same information. This is the calendar that is put together. Our team is working hard to make sure that we reach all these deadlines. If anybody has any questions, please reach out to me. Chantel is going to be the lead this year for this. Excuse me, I don't expect that next year she'll be the lead, but with her taking over really all of finance, this will be a good opportunity for her to get into the weeds of this project and see if there's any other improvements that we need to make. But I think this year should hopefully run smoothly, and we appreciate the partnership, especially of the Treasurer's Office, in giving us some suggestions on how to make it a little bit more efficient too. So if anybody else has any recommendations, please reach out to us. But I think if we follow this timeline, we'll be able to hit the deadlines and make sure we get our estimated needs done appropriately.
Any questions? Any motions?
Move we receive the calendar.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Warren. Thank you, sir.
That brings us to the citizen participation. Anyone here to speak? Having nothing filled out. Board comments. We'll start with Mr. Anderson.
No comments. We lost a great man, Senator Bourne, Governor Bourne, head of OU College. The man has done many great things, and he will be missed.
I'd like to introduce my daughter, Olivia, is in the back today. Everybody wave. We're happy to have her here today, and if you need her to shred anything or file anything, let her know. She'll be happy to help out.
Olivia, do you have anything to say?
Olivia, 313, we need some help with our homestead exemption filing, so come on up.
We're in a competition. She feels like the state capitol is better than this building, so if you guys could prove to her that this building is also fun to come to, that would be great.
Good luck.
Just appreciation also, especially to the sheriff's office and others, emergency management and all to keep but keeping us up to date on where we stand, all that. Roads seem to be pretty good today. I only fishtail one time. Of course, that was in front of 3 semis, but now anyway, do appreciate everything that all of our emergency management people have done to help us out.
The deposits on the retirement and also the loan payments for employees are usually done at the first or second of the month. And if we could get some sort of a note or something from the clerk's office on that, that would be terrific to know when those are made. Because we're always trying to keep as timely as we can. I got to do a lot of things with David Bourne when he was the United States Senator, reporting on him and doing some great things at the Gridiron Club. That's sad news to Dan and all the family.
Commissioner Moore.
Nothing.
Just to echo the sentiment, thanks for emergency management. Thanks to court clerk and the courts and understanding of each of you for the past 2 days of keeping our county families safe. And a special thanks to road crews and sheriff's office for ensuring the safety for those that had to travel. And even to Keith Monroe, thankfully he's not in here, but Keith Monroe, the management and operations of these buildings and making sure things didn't burst and almost making it tolerable to be here in this frigid temperature inside the building, not even outside. So any new business? Seeing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Seeing no objections, that'll be the order. Please stand adjourned. Well, we didn't have anything